What happens when a gentle Yeti, called away by the mountains, suddenly returns with secrets in his eyes and a new weight in his heart. This is the story of Yeti Bob Returns, the beginning of a season where family, laughter, and mystery collide. But this is no ordinary return. This is the return that shifts seasons, that stirs memories, that changes everything. The festival had ended months ago. The lanterns were gone, packed away in dusty crates. The banners had faded under the rain. The smell of roasted chestnuts no longer lingered in the air. The games were quiet. The music had stopped. And yet, something was missing from the town square. Not something. Someone. Bob. The children still played tag in the grassy field, but their laughter didn't ring as loud. The parents still worked at their shops, their hands steady, but their smiles came and went like passing clouds. Even the town fox, red-furred, clever-eyed, seemed restless. It circled Bob's old bench outside the bakery each evening, curling up in the exact spot where he once sipped cocoa and waved at passers-by. Each night, as stars scattered across the sky like breadcrumbs, the children tilted their heads toward the mountains. "Will Bob come back?" they whispered. They never stopped hoping. And then, one dawn, he did. A figure appeared on the ridge, tall, broad, familiar. The morning mist danced around him, blurring his outline, teasing the eyes. Some townsfolk thought it was just a trick of the light, wishful thinking. Until the fox let out a sharp, joyous bark and raced forward, tail wagging like a banner. The whispers turned into gasps, the gasps into cheers. It was Bob. He walked slowly, as if each step from the mountain carried a memory. His scarf fluttered in the wind like an old flag returning from battle. But he wasn't the same. There was a new silence in his eyes, a glint of knowledge, a shadow of distance, as if the mountains had shown him something, and taken something too. The children screamed with joy, throwing themselves into his arms, giggling, clinging. "Where did you go? Did you see other Yetis? Did they look like you? Did they smell like you?" Bob knelt gently, his massive arms around them all. "I missed you. Every single day." The parents smiled with relief, but they noticed it too. Bob's laugh was quieter. His eyes lingered longer on the horizon. Something had changed. The town wasted no time. By sunset, a giant tea party had bloomed in the square. Bob, seated on a throne of hay bales and quilts, tried to sip delicately from an oversized teacup while children dumped mounds of sugar and cream into his drink. He sneezed when a swirl of whipped cream landed on his nose, sending napkins and confetti flying. On the playground, they begged him to push the swings higher and higher. One joyful shove sent a child swinging so high they claimed to have brushed the edge of a cloud. Laughter echoed. It was the kind that filled cracks in the heart. At bedtime, Bob tried reading stories again. He opened the book, cleared his throat, and began. But the words trembled. He paused. Repeated lines. Lost his place. The children noticed. They leaned into him, their warmth grounding. "It's okay, Bob," one whispered. "You're home now," said another. And for that brief, golden moment, he believed them. For a breath, he forgot the call of the mountains. Later that night, when the town had quieted and the stars blinked gently overhead, Bob sat alone on the bakery steps. The fox curled at his feet, nose tucked under its tail. From his scarf he pulled a woven band, faded threads, intricate patterns, symbols no one in the village would recognize. His fingers brushed over them like reading a language without words. It was a gift from the mountains, a reminder, a message. The air shimmered. A winged cryptid, small, ethereal, glowing faintly blue, fluttered near him. It tilted its head, silent but curious. "Will you tell them?" it seemed to ask. Bob exhaled, a sound like wind over stone. "Not yet," he murmured. And just then, far in the distance, the mountains echoed once more, soft, haunting, like a voice calling from a dream. Only Bob heard it. Only Bob understood. The next day, the mayor called for a town gathering. The square filled quickly. Children sat cross-legged on the cobblestones, eyes wide. Parents leaned forward, expectant, bracing. Bob stood at the center. The wind caught his scarf again, revealing the band beneath. He placed one massive hand over it, steadying himself. "I traveled far," he began. His voice was calm, but low, like a story being remembered as it's told. "I found others like me, strong, kind, hidden." A hush fell. "They live above the clouds, beyond the rivers. They sing to the stones and listen to the wind." The children gasped. The parents exchanged uneasy glances. Bob lowered his voice. "But I do not yet belong to them. My heart is still here." The children erupted in cheers. They didn't care about the rest. Bob was home. But some of the adults, they sensed the undercurrent. A feeling like standing on the edge of a cliff, knowing someone might jump. They didn't press. Not yet. That night, as lanterns flickered and the town exhaled, Bob lingered at the edge of the square. He turned once, soaking in the glow of laughter, firelight, warm windows. Then slowly, he looked up toward the mountains. His expression shifted. Heavy. The woven band peeked from beneath his scarf. Its symbols glowed faintly in the moonlight, pulsing, almost alive. The fox at his side whimpered. "I hear you," Bob whispered. "I cannot ignore you forever." The wind stirred. The camera pulled back. Below, the town glowed like an ember. Above, the mountains loomed, dark, eternal, waiting. Two worlds, one Yeti. Bob had returned, but his journey had only just begun. Season 3 began not with a new quest, but with a return that brought both comfort and questions. Bob was back in the square, back with the children, back where laughter and love could still soften even the heaviest heart. But the mountains still whispered, and sooner or later, Bob would have to listen again. If Bob's return gave you chills and comfort all at once, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because the next chapter in his journey is only getting bigger.